Most men live lives of quiet desperation. Good morning, Shane here, and welcome back to another episode of Road Noise. It's an empty space, an empty place in this world sometimes. Now, this message isn't just for men. Anybody can relate to this. But from the standpoint of a man, many of us go through life trying to feel fulfilled. And a lot of times we fall short of it. Not necessarily due to our own doing, but the premise, the overarching impression that society puts on us is tough to overcome. Most of us strive to be good men, be good husbands, be good fathers, partners, whatever the situation is. We try to carry the weight on our shoulders. We try to have hobbies or things that fulfill parts of us that we feel need to be filled. Many times we fall short. And there's a lot of us out in the world that are empty, feel empty. And that's that quiet desperation part, where we're kind of stuck, as cliche as it sounds, on that hamster wheel, stuck in that revolving door of life, never really breaking out and pursuing things that we feel deep content for inside. Whether that's a passion project, whether that's a business, whether it's a specific hobby that you really, really love. And there's a lot of guys that, really enjoy hunting or fishing, and they take the time to enjoy those things. But at the end of the day, is that really giving you purpose? Because my interpretation of this quote is more about purpose than pastimes. It's so easy to take for granted the amount of time we have on this earth. And it's over. And it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day minutia of things, and I'll get to it tomorrow. For some of us, tomorrow never comes. And for others, we look back and 10, 15, 20 years have passed us. And we still haven't gotten to that thing. That thing that we felt a burn for. That thing that deep down in our heart we were passionate about. But there was always something that got in the way, right? There was always a work thing. There was always a family function. There was always, I'm tired. Whatever it is, there's something that gets in the way. And we go through life flat. Never finding that driving force, that purpose, that call to action. Or if we do and we feel it, never actually acting on it. And we look down, well, maybe not down the road, we look back 5, 10, 20, 30 years later and go, what happened to my life? I have all these regrets. I wish I would have done things differently. And not because we didn't have the opportunity to do it. We just never acted on it for whatever reason. Whether it was society, whether it was a spouse that wasn't supportive, just making excuses and not making time for ourselves. Because everybody says, I don't have time, right? Get up and go to the gym every morning at 4:30. Work out for an hour, come home, get ready, and go about your day. And later on in the day, you're talking to a friend and they're talking about how shitty they feel, you know, how overweight they're getting, how they just wish they had more time to make some changes. I don't know where you find the time to do that and go every day to work out. We all have the same amount of time. Where do you set your priorities? Is your health important to you? Then schedule time. Are your kids important to you? Then set aside the time. We all have the time. A lot of us just think we'll get to it tomorrow. And then one day you look back and you realize tomorrow comes in like decade increments. Time has passed you by. You have regrets. You've built resentments. And you look back on the last 10, 15, 20 years of your life and you say to yourself, where did it go? Why do I feel so empty? What have I accomplished? Man, I really wish I would have done that one thing. I wish I would have just taken the time to set aside some time for me. Because lo and behold, when you take time for you, take some of the time you don't have, all of a sudden you find yourself with more time for other things. Because you feel invigorated. You feel alive. You're doing something of purpose. You found a new life. We've only got one shot in this game we call life. Why are we so willing to get caught up and think that tomorrow will always be here? Why are we so willing to put off today? What we could have already done yesterday, what we could have already started. Find your passion. Find your purpose. It will change your outlook on this world. It will change how you think about yourself, your family, your life. Some of the most impactful things in our days, in our life, are some of the smallest incremental changes that we make. You don't have to strive for perfection. Hell, you don't even have to strive for greatness. Grab a hold of that purpose. Find a purpose. And tell yourself, my goal is to be just a little bit better than what I was yesterday. That's it. That's all we have to do. There is no finish line. Just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Fulfill that purpose that you feel and just do you. And take everybody in your days along for the ride with you. Be happy to be here. Tomorrow might not come. I appreciate you all being here, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.